श्री श्री रास विहारिणी जू की जय हो, श्री वल्लभाधीश की जय हो, श्री हरिराय जी की जय हो, सब वैष्णवों को सादर सप्रेम sananda sadar jai Shri Krishna. Continuing with our readings of the Bade Shiksha Patr of Shri Harirai Ji, day 3, verses 9 to 10. Here in English. If the heart is very impure, it is not possible for Shri Krishna to enter there. The Lord's form is extremely pure. He grants his devotees the experience of this form according to their accumulated wealth of spiritual practice, which purifies the devotee's heart for him to enter therein. Tika. In the Lord's service, one's heart and senses must be very pure and never absorbed in worldly or sensual thought. The fluctuations of happiness and sadness on the material plane should never be in your mind. The temporary pleasures and pains of the worldly and scriptural realms you share with those related to you only on this level. The sadness of separation from and the joy of union with the Lord are on an eternal and pure spiritual level related to him alone. His form is extremely pure, so never attribute worldly qualities to him. His whole body, hands, feet, mouth, belly, etc. are formed of pure bliss. And this can be experienced when the heart is pure and without our lust, anger, pride and envy. Sri Krishna is the remover of all sorrow and the granter of bliss. This is the Sri Krishna whom you should establish and experience in your heart, knowing all his spiritual qualities. Pull your mind back away from all other places and just keep it fixed on his lotus feet. Serve in this way and the Lord will soon grant you his experience. That is Tika for verse 9, going on to the Tika for verse 10. In this world there are both divinely oriented and ungodly beings. Within the godly category there are two divisions, lawful and grace-filled. Thus we have a threefold creation, grace-filled, lawful, and ungodly. Their differences should be known in order that we may be free from ignorance that causes mundane joys and afflictions. I will first describe the Lord's service and the wealth of spiritual practice as mentioned above. When your body is employed in serving him, that is a divine soul. An ungodly soul is too lazy to serve and only serves him if someone else is doing so and is also obstructed by disease and other complications. When a godly soul serves the Lord, they experience his form, but when an ungodly soul tries to make service, their mind is all over the worldly matters, and so they never experience his bliss form. If your spouse, children, and other family members help you in your service to the Lord, then know them to be divinely oriented. If they oppose you, they are ungodly. Know those who engage themselves readily in righteous activities to be lawful. Wealth used in the Lord's service is divine. If used for donations, sacrifices, fire worship and rites for the deceased, it is lawful. If wealth is used for merely mundane purposes or to swindle and punish others, know this to be demonical and ungodly. Know all articles used in the Lord's service to be pure, all other items are impure. Your heart should hold dear those things alone that are related to your service to the Lord. The Lord himself can and will and then enter such a heart and grant the experience of his bliss. Therefore, renounce all things unrelated to your Lord's service. Serve always by keeping articles such as food offerings and cloths, etc. close to your heart, because they are related to his service. Verse 11. When the Lord is pleased by a devotee's humility, he grants them a divine body, a body capable of serving him. He then enters that body and grants them divine experience. Tika 11. Even if one performs service to the Lord as described above, the Lord will not be satisfied with that service if it is not done with humility. Therefore, always be most humble in your service, by which the Sri Thakurji will be pleased. Because he is the Lord of Lords, replete with all the 6 divine qualities, and has no need for anything, the only way to please him is through love and humility. A great devotee has written, "The most beloved Lord is attainable only through love. Qualities such as beauty, virtue, and good conduct do not please him as much. You may be of noble birth, actions, and character, and have read all the scriptures, but, says Govinda Das, without love for the Lord, even your eloquent tongue is just dancing." Pritama Prita Hite Paye, Pada by Sri Govinda Das. Therefore the Lord will accept those offerings made with love and humility, just as Padmanabh Das made all his offerings only of chickpeas, and the Lord accepted them readily. When the embodied soul truly becomes humble, then the Lord is satisfied and blesses that soul. He enters their heart after blessing them with a super spiritual body with which they can serve him eternally. Then the Lord, who embodies all love, grants them the vision of his form. Then all the world appears in relationship to his pastimes. There remains no envy of any living creature, and this is the perfect reward of the path of grace. Verse 12. So, following the above teachings and keeping your consciousness constantly aware of this eternal and indestructible reward, serve the Lord with enthusiasm and respect. Tika 12. When you thus at all times keep your consciousness connected to the Supreme Lord, who constitutes the highest spiritual reward, then your heart and mind will never be connected to anything else. When your remembrance of the divine of the Blessed One is not constant, then other connections can arise, and your intelligence can become ungodly. So, as taught above, contemplate the Lord with humility and burning enthusiasm. Serve with respect. Never do it for show or status. These are the core duties of a devotee of the path of grace. Serve as a humble servant, knowing such service to be the highest reward. Always be full of respect. Never think, oh, I can't make my service today, I'll do it tomorrow. Quite the opposite. Do it regularly, knowing that your body is not permanent, and renouncing all bodily and sensual enjoyment. That is the highest principle. So we will pause the reading here for today. Jai Shri Krishna. Aaj ke Anand ki jai. Shiva Labhadi Shri Gosai Ji ki jai ho. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.